How do you stop caring what people think? How do you finally break free from seeking their approval and start living for you? Yeah, I know it sounds simple, but if it were that easy, you wouldn't be watching this video right now. You wouldn't be swallowing that joke you wanted to tell. You wouldn't be editing your thoughts before they even leave your mouth. You wouldn't be living with this invisible leash tied around your soul. So, before we talk about how to break free, we need to understand why the chains are there in the first place. Because what's happening inside you isn't random, it's not weakness. It's not because you're too sensitive. The issue is much deeper and older than you realize. As a kid, you didn't care. You wore mismatched socks. You sang off-key in public without a second thought. You asked weird questions without worrying if they sounded stupid. You lived as if your soul was on fire, unfiltered and wild. Then, little by little, the world started to carve you down. A sarcastic comment here, a sideways glance there, a punishment for being too much, too loud, too different, and every time you shrank yourself to fit in, a tiny funeral was held inside you. A piece of your true self was buried in silence, no ceremony, no goodbye. This didn't happen because you were weak, but because you were smart. Your brain learned a simple rule: if I show my true self, I might get hurt. You weren't protecting yourself from judgment. You were protecting yourself from the pain. Over time, hiding became a habit. The graveyard of dreams inside you grew larger. Untold stories, unlived identities, parts of you that never got the chance to breathe. And so, here you are today, carrying the weight of everyone's opinions like a heavy suit of armor you never asked for. But here's the truth no one ever tells you: you are not broken. You are not a coward. You are simply a prisoner in a system your mind built to survive. And survival is not the same as living. And you know what the craziest part is? People's judgment isn't even about you. People only judge you in the areas where they themselves are struggling. Let me explain. We grow up thinking judgment is lethal, like a death sentence. As if one raised eyebrow, one whisper behind your back, or one awkward laugh could ruin your life forever. So you start negotiating with the world. You trim your edges, sand down your weirdness, and try to become acceptable. But acceptable to whom? To people who will forget your name 30 seconds after seeing your Instagram story. To people mindlessly scrolling on their phone while sitting on the toilet. Here's a hard truth: fearing judgment doesn't protect you from their opinions, it robs you of your own. Every time you silence yourself, you're not dodging their bullets, you're handing them the gun. As the philosopher Carl Jung once said, thinking is difficult, that's why most people judge. Judgment is lazy. It's cheap, it's an addiction, and it rots people from the inside out. Judgment is an unconscious act, and most importantly, it reveals far more about the person judging than the person being judged. When someone calls you too much, what they're really saying is, I can't handle my own emotions. When someone mocks your passion as cringe, it just means they're too afraid to try something new themselves. Imagine Kevin. Kevin is insecure about his hair loss. So when he walks into a room, all he sees is hair. He's not judging your music taste, your laugh, or your struggles. He's busy fighting a losing war with his own reflection. We only judge on the dimensions where we are secretly struggling. Failed artists become the harshest critics. People who abandon their dreams become the loudest mockers. This is why fearing judgment is a trap. The judgment was never aimed at you. It's aimed inward, at their own failures. Their harsh words aren't bullets, they're boomerangs, flying right back at them. Every "who do you think you are?" actually means, I forgot who I am. Every "that's unrealistic" translates to, I gave up on my own dreams. Every "you've changed" is a scream that says, I'm stuck. When you spend your day dodging invisible arrows, you don't get braver, you just get smaller. You slowly lose yourself for nothing. Their judgments don't even belong to you. They are just mirrors of their own self-loathing, twisting and distorting reality through their own fears. Once you realize this, two things happen. You stop caring what others think. You stop judging yourself through their broken lenses. And for the first time in a long time, you actually start living. Messy, flawed, human but alive. So, how do you break free? Step 1. Identify your fear. Write down what you're truly afraid they'll judge you for. Not what you think, but what you feel. Be brutally honest. These are your real cages. Step 2. Trace the source of the shame. Ask yourself, who first made me feel ashamed of this? Was it a bitter kid in 8th grade or a teacher who hated their life? A parent who was too scared to chase their own dreams? That shame isn't even yours. It was passed down to you like a virus. Step 3. Expose the absurdity. Next time you hesitate, ask yourself, will this matter on my deathbed? Or, would a lion concern itself with the opinion of sheep? Most judgments are laughably small when viewed from your future self. Step 4. Act despite the fear, not without fear, but with fear. The real magic happens on the other side of that cringe moment, after the "oh God, why did I post that?" feeling. True freedom begins there. Your weirdness, your voice, your truth, they are your weapons, not your weaknesses. Your true self never needed anyone's permission. The most dangerous prison is the one you don't even realize you're in.